Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSi DFS Fantasy Baseball Picks. I'm Roshima 31. We have a six-game slate today, early slate. McKinley would be doing the video for late slate, so if you're looking for that, pause the video, go to our channel, and if you already missed the day one, then you can get the information on that one on our other videos. So I really want to thank DK for this one because this slate starts at 110. They took off the Baltimore-Toronto game, which looks like it's probably going to rain out, so we don't have to worry about that. Plus, you have six games spread out over 3 hours worth of start times. So that little extra time might give us a better chance of having the 410 lineups by time this locks. Not guaranteed, but hopefully you'll be able to see everybody that's playing. So I'll start the first game. We have Miami at Detroit, and this is like kind of like the dollar store slate because you don't have any pitching that's really high, and you don't have any high end stacks. Like everything's affordable. You can play so many options, and I think there's so many teams in really good spots that it's going to make it a really nice competitive, non-chalky slate. So Trevor Rogers, not going to touch him, even though it's against Detroit. He just Detroit, yes, there's strikeouts there at 24%, but he has just been pretty bad. And they'll probably throw like eight righties against him. And they've actually against left-handed pitching, Detroit only has a 19% K rate. So I'm not touching Rogers here. On the other side, he's been decent, and the Marlins have been a little bit better against I mean they've been middle of the road pretty much of like right almost in the middle. They're a little bit worse against right-handed pitching at 22% K rate. So I think Mies should be able to get some strikeouts here, and this lineup hasn't been super impressive at all. Sorry. So I think that definitely is going to be in play here in the mid range. So looking at bats, like Miami's just going to be a leverage stack here. Don't love them, but a six-game slate. I mean, they have to consider them in GPPs. And Detroit, makes a really nice cheap stack here that, especially with all the right-handers in the lineup, going out there against Rodgers, who has really struggled this season. Pittsburgh and Milwaukee, we have Martin Perez and Robert Gasser. Everybody has been playing Milwaukee, including myself. They've just been having a phenomenal season hitting, but they have not been good against left-handed pitching. Their on-base percentage is under 0.6. Their K rate actually rises to 27.4 versus where it's like 23 normally, like overall between both splits, it's 27.4. They have some walks, but their ISO is 0.087. So like when they go with this all like right-handed lineup, you still have Contreras in there. Yelich is okay, lefty and lefty, and you have Damas, but like the rest of them, the, the lineup just isn't as good with the people they platoon against lefties as it is with the power lefties that they have against a righty. So I think in a cheap, like Prez is in play here. Gasser on the other side had a really good debut, and he gets a Pittsburgh team. I think in the month of May, their WRC plus is 0.64. They've been not good at all. And what's their K rate against lefties here? Is 27.4. So I think that even though they do have some like Reynolds and I'm touching back in the day, Joe, I mean, there's really not anybody here that I'm like really afraid of power wise. So I think Gasser's definitely in play here. Stack wise, it's a cheap stack if you want to take advantage of a pitcher only making a second major league start, although he's a high prospect. You can go there. I just stick to the righties. I don't know if I go full stack. And then Milwaukee, I have as number two stack, but I think it's with caution. So I'd probably stick with Contreras, Ortiz, Adames, and maybe Millers and Perkins. maybe get up there and lead off. He's cooled off a little bit since his hot start, so I think there's definitely some plays there, but I don't know if it's going to be my favorite stack. Next, we have Washington and Chicago. Weather should be decent for this one. The wind's blowing out 13 miles per hour, so it should help bats there. Patrick Corbin and Crochet. Corbin, I mean, it's the White Sox, yes, uh, but their K rate has actually gone down to fall out of the top 10. Let's see how they are against. It's 26% against left-handed pitching, which is pretty high. With the wind, I don't know. I don't think Corbin into cheap just in like a GPP dart potentially. We have seen him every so often go out there and be relevant, and this could be the matchup where it happens. So, but I'm not saying it's more of a YOLO GPP play. Kosha, the highest priced pitcher on the slate, is definitely worthwhile here. It's a Washington team that doesn't have a ton of righties to throw out there. I think most of their power comes from the left-handed side, and against I mean they've had an elite K rate against left-handed pitching at only 17.7%. But we've seen Crochet go out there in teams against, I think it was Cleveland last time out. Does not have a high K rate usually. And I think maybe Houston played some disciplined teams and had like 8 to 12 strikeouts. So I think Crochet is definitely in play here if you're paying up for pitcher, which I mean, I don't have to pay up too much. I think he's like only 8.6, so that's not horrible at all. And looking at bats, I think Washington would be leverage because I probably think Crochet is going to have a decent amount, actually it's 9.6 of ownership for him. And then the White Sox definitely make a great cheap stack with Detroit too. Fam's got some power. Ramos is banged up. We'll have to see there. Vaughn definitely has power against lefties. Jimenez hit a home run last night. Zhang's had a decent season, so probably would stick to the righty side. Cincinnati at Arizona. Andrew Abbott and Fadat. Abbott, he's struggled at times. He's been okay, but Arizona has been almost elite against left-handed pitching. Even though they've struggled, they just have so many right-handed power bats. I just cannot put Abbott, so he's over in the fade category. Sadat, he started out really slow, but he's had some solid games recently. And Cincinnati has a 25.5% K rate overall, but you throw them against right-handed pitching and it's up to like 27%. So definitely think there's some K's in this lineup. Yes, do they have an explosive lineup? Yes, but I think with Cincinnati more that you're more like they're going to get on base and run on you than outside of the Great American Small Park, like completely smash the ball on you. So I think Fedot should have a decent game here. Cincinnati, I still like as a GPP stack, especially maybe a leverage stack because Fedot is one of the more popular pitchers probably on the slate. And then Arizona is like by far my favorite stack on the slate here against the lefty. Give me the righties. Marte's been good. Gurriel, Walker, Grichuk should move up. He's got great power. Suarez is starting to wake up. Moreno's catcher. Blaze Alexander's cooled off a little bit, but still there as a shortstop if you want to do a round stick. And it's pretty cheap. Kansas City at Seattle. Alec Marsh and Woo. We know Seattle has the worst strikeout rate in the league. Against right-handed pitching, it goes up even more to almost 30%. Marsh is not a huge strikeout pitcher, but just baking some into the lineup there, I think it's definitely in place. So definitely like me some Marsh today. Wu on the other side, he had an elbow injury. He missed spring training. He made his first start and he had forearm tightness, same arm. So he got pulled after he was doing well. He got pulled after 4.1, I think, scoreless innings. But the coach seemed to downplay it. But I am skeptical. Kansas City is a decent lineup. So I think that they're They're bottom two, like they're the second best team in strikeouts at only 18%. When it comes to against right-handed pitching, it's down even more. It's down to like 17.5%. So that is outstanding. So I don't see any K upside here. I don't know if Woo's going to go deep, and he's against an offense that could really beat him up. So I am out on Woo. Not going to play him. Put him in the fade category. Bat wise, Kansas City definitely love as a GPP stack, and Seattle against Marsh. They're projecting well, so I mean I would probably just take like Rojas, Polanco, Raleigh, just maybe a 3-man, maybe mix in Rodriguez or Haniger. Like I'm probably not paying for Rodriguez in that stuff. It's probably more of a GPP stack. And just feeling the top ones just because they were told, but I don't think we'll have a ton of Seattle. So, final game, we have Colorado and San Diego. This has been an interesting series because both games you look at it and you're just like, terrible Colorado pitcher starting, bad Colorado bullpen. But if you look at the sheet, which I just updated today, Colorado's bullpen has fallen out of the top 10. They're still close to it, but they've gotten better recently. So remember, they still only have one lefty in there, so it's right-handed heavy bullpen, but it is a right-handed heavy lineup too. So Colorado could be sweeping this series. They went out in the first game, I think they won like 6-4, and then yesterday they won again. So you look at Michael King, you're like, wow, he's got the Rockies here. It's a great matchup. What could go wrong? And Kings had some great starts. I was sad that the Yankees let him go, but I understand he needed to be key piece to the Soto trade. I think he's going to be really good, and he has had some good games. And Colorado definitely is the second worst, so there's going to be some Ks there. So I think looking at it, and probably the incentive not to be swept by Colorado could make King be the top pitcher on the slate. So I'm not touching Austin Gomber against San Diego. Colorado bats, I have them as a top GPP only just because positionally they work out really well with my Arizona stack. And second, I just have seen that Colorado has, for some reason, been scoring runs in San Diego. So I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I like some of the lefties there, or some of them just as fill-ins. And San Diego, I think, is definitely got to consider as a stack. But again, they're probably going to go a right-handed heavy lineup. But if they do get to Gamba, hopefully it's early because then the whole bullpen's pretty much righties. So, you're going to lose your splits advantage then. So let's look at pitching. Like I said, you have King and Crochet, Marsh and Gasser up there. It's a decent. They're high salary, but not really. We don't have like 10K guys up there. Crochet's the highest one at 9.6. These two are definitely decent in the medium range. And if you want to take a shot here, I'd probably take Perez over Corbin and then fading these ones. So Arizona and Milwaukee, again, they're facing a lefty, maybe San Diego. They've looked like they've been in a great spot, but haven't risen to the occasion against Colorado, and Seattle potentially against Marsh. But these GPP ones, Colorado, if it keeps it going, Cincinnati always has potential. Kansas City against Wu, who could be banged up, but Seattle has a decent bullpen. But then these cheap ones, Detroit and the White Sox, make really good matches there. So let's look at the builds and get you on the way for your day here. So give me for that, and I don't know why that says it should be knees. I love how this Google sheet has autocorrect in it sometimes against my will. So I'm gonna go with those because I really like the Arizona stack. So I Walker, Marte, Gitchik, L'Oreal, and then if one of these big bats is not in there, then like I fill in with Colorado. So I knew it Tovar. Tovar has hit in the last 10 games, I believe. He's had home runs the last two. I know he doesn't have the split, but he's been looking pretty good. So I can fill in this positionally with Colorado players, depending on if you take a Moreno, Suarez, or another outfielder there, or you could even put Blaze Alexander at shortstop and go with another team. Like you could take some one-offs here, like a Contreras or Perez up there at catcher, or at shortstop you could take Witt or Adames. Like find a cheap outfielder. There's so many ways to go, but the main thing is Arizona. If you have more money for pitchers and want to pay up, that's fine. But I love this medium range. I think that you have Arizona pitcher in a great matchup against Cincinnati, which has a high K rate, and you have Mies as a pitcher against the number one team in strikeouts in baseball. So just give me the K upside there and two decent pitchers, and then the Arizona stack, and I think I'm going to be off to the races in cash. For GPP, I'm going to pay up for Crochet and going to pair with March there. Sorry, I said Mies has the I was thinking Marsh, but Mies has the Marlins, who still have a decent strikeout against pitcher his handedness. So, but Marsh has the matchup against the worst strikeout team in baseball. So here, give me Kansas City. So Perez, Witt, and then I'm going to fill in with the White Sox. If you don't like the White Sox against Corbin, then fill in with Detroit bats against Rogers. Just righties on both sides against bad left-handed pitching. So I got for you. If you have questions from the chat below, hit me at MegRoto31 on Twitter or X. There's a reminder, if you want the late coverage, then look for the video from McKinley on our channel. And that's a great reason to subscribe to our channel so you know when these videos are coming out. And if the videos help you, like and share with your friends. And if you want more information on FSi DFS, you can go into the description of the video. And we're running a couple free things right now. If you check out our X page, there's a promo code there for free PGA. PGA is actually has a major this week, so if you need help with that, you can get in and get our cores and talk with our coach Johnny Cool with that one. And then you can also, we're doing a WNBA. We're partnering with Kurt on that, and you know, you can get in, and we're, instead of just having a separate like WNBA channel, we're like gonna make it kind of like our soccer channel and make it like season long basketball. So we're looking at starting with WNBA in the NBA room, and you still get in there, you get NBA playoffs, and that one you don't even need a coupon code for. Just go to the website and sign up for the week NBA package, and it should be free in your cart. So that's what we got for you. Again, you know how to get a hold of us if you have any questions. So good luck. Hope you have an amazing Wednesday, and I'll see you next.